Climate change is here. It's upon us. We're feeling its force and fury. The planet's average surface temperature has risen about 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the late 19th century. The polar ice caps are melting, sea levels are rising, weather patterns are shifting, and floods and droughts are becoming the norm. The impact is devastating, and it's discriminating. For those living in poverty, whether in a developing country or a developed country for that matter, the wrath of climate change is here. It's being felt. It's threatening livelihoods, homes, food security, and health. Consider, most of the world's poor, nearly 2.5 billion people, live off the land where climate change has been decidedly unkind. Our Acumen teams and entrepreneurs are on the ground, seeing how agriculture is being especially hard hit, with extreme weather patterns causing both epic precipitation and historic droughts. But the impacts aren't limited to agriculture. Coastal waters and floods caused by climate change are overtaking homes, and it's a threat to the health of the poor, who will be victims of more vector and waterborne diseases, diseases such as bird flu, cholera, Ebola, and tuberculosis. Climate change is like COVID-19. Those hit hardest are the poor, the most fragile, the very folks who are least well positioned to bounce back, if at all. You know Acumen. We stand with the poor. We have a moral responsibility to shed light on the need to invest in climate adaptation and resilience for the poor and to actually do it. And we've been doing it, and we're determined to do more. I'm proud that nearly a quarter of our pioneer investments, those investments that are philanthropically backed early stage investments, are focused on helping smallholder farmers and poor communities adapt to the challenges of climate change and become more resilient. Mitigation is important to us as well. In the agricultural sector, we're excited about regenerative agriculture, a farming practice that sequesters carbon by rebuilding soil's organic matter and restoring the health of soil. So we're not only investing in companies that are helping farmers adapt to climate change, but also in companies that are helping farmers combat climate change. You'll hear more about our regenerative ag later in our program. In energy, our Pioneer Energy Investment Initiative and our Kawisapi Fund have been focused on bringing clean, safe, and cost-effective energy to communities living in poverty, communities that previously had no access to electricity. 600 million people in Africa still live without electricity. But through entrepreneurship, investment, and innovation, we have the ability to actually help achieve the one achievable UN Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 7, electricity for all, in the next 10 years without fossil fuels. This is a growth story without carbon. Our pioneer investments in off-grid solar have avoided 42.4 million tons of carbon emissions, which is equal to avoiding the emissions from 9 million passenger cars a year. And what truly energizes us is that we're actually electrifying communities less expensively than if the electrical grid were extended to these communities. 25% of our pioneer portfolio consists of companies that are bringing electricity to the poor, helping them to develop carbon-free. And in the face of the pandemic, which threatens the financial well-being of these companies, we've stepped up to lead an effort to create the Energy Access Relief Fund. Today, you're going to hear from Acumen staff, entrepreneurs, and partners who are addressing climate change in innovative and important ways in energy access and agriculture. But what we're already doing is only the start. Going forward, we look to deepen our off-grid energy access effort and launch a new pioneer energy strategy in Africa and India in 2021. We'll be investing in India's green economy in sectors such as regenerative agriculture and workforce development. And you'll be hearing more in 2021 as we deepen our work in this area in other regions. And this is all happening because of our work with leading partners in this space, partners who are individuals, corporations, foundations, and development finance institutions. IKEA Foundation, the Green Climate Fund, and DFID are leading partners alongside us in this effort. But we know that if we're to have an impact, we must measure what matters. We're committed to deepening our understanding and measurement of relevant climate metrics for current and future investees and supporting them in the development of climate positive activities. While we're at the early stages of defining the metrics, we aim to capture both measures of mitigation, such as abated carbon dioxide and acres of land conserved, and measures of adaptation and resilience as reflected in a reduction in income variability. So stay tuned in the months ahead.